So that's a little lick from the second part of a swing fiddle tune called Twinkle Little Star. It's a tune that starts out like this. And what I want to show you on this is how to practice stuff up in the higher positions. So on this lick, you got that stuff up in 4th position. And the cool thing is, you know, whether you're in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th position, what you can do is figure out what your finger pattern is, and you take that down into 1st position, learn it down there, and you bring it back up to whatever position it is in the song, and it'll be a lot less intimidating. Sometimes it gets hard trying to figure out what notes you're on and all this stuff when you're in the higher positions. So if we take a look at this lick, we can see what basically is happening is we're in a low 2 finger pattern. So if I put my fingers down up there in 4th position, you can see my 1st and 2nd finger are together. They're a half step apart. Then there's a whole step between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. So that's a low 2 finger pattern. And then what I'm going to do is take that down into 1st position. So still I have that 1 and 2 are together. And then there's a whole step between the 2 and 3 and then the 3 and the 4. And then I'm going to play that the same lick right there. So it goes 3, 4. It just so happened that it works out that if you play this in 1st position on the A string, that it's an octave lower, so it's the exact same notes. But it doesn't have to be. Like you could play it on the E string. Now you're learning different notes, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is you're learning the finger pattern. So once you get that finger pattern down, you can move it up here, or you could drop it a half step. You could put it anywhere you want. Doesn't really matter. It's just a finger pattern. Now the spacing of the notes does change. Like you're down in 1st position, the notes are spaced a little bit farther apart, as if you're way up. Like in 4th position, the notes are going to be a little closer together. So you do have to be aware of that. But anyway, we're going to take this lick, we're going to learn it down in 1st position on the A string. So you play the 3rd finger, and a 4, then you go 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Again, 3, 4, and then you're going to do 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. One more time. Now a couple tips on this thing. Get that 3rd finger down. 4th finger should be ready to go. You don't want it down here. Sometimes the 4th finger will either be flying up here or way down here. Call this out to lunch. It's got to be ready to play. If you don't have a good spot to put it, you can stick it right on that 3rd finger. Kind of piggyback it on the nail of that 3rd finger. You don't want to piggyback it up here because now it's way too far away from the fingerboard. Put it on the nail. Now it's really close to the spot it's got to go, and it'll be ready to play when it's time to use it. So you got 3. Now that 4 is ready. Another thing about that 4, set it right on the tip. You don't want to be looking at it like this. If you can see your fingertip and you haven't set it down correctly, you want to put it on the tip so that fingertip is facing that fretboard. And then you're going to go 3, 4, 3. When you do that, just barely pick up that 4th finger. That way it'll remember where it was. It'll help you to play in tune that way. So you got 3, 4, and then lastly you got a 2, 3, 2. See how I just barely picked up that 3rd finger? That's going to help with your intonation a lot. So again, let's play it. 3, 4. Now what you want to do is go up into 4th position. Find this D note. So here's D. Here's the other D. You can check with open. You got to fish around go ahead and fish around to find that D. And set your fingers up in that low 2 pattern. Once they're there, then you're going to play 3, 4, same thing as you played in first position. Go back to first. And go back and forth like this. So your hand starts to learn that pattern and your brain makes the connection that it's really the same thing. And then you're learning how to get from that D to this D as you're practicing this, which will be important for this tune. And back here. And then we can play the lick before that. So it starts on the A string with a 1 and a low 2. Then you have 3, 1, open E, and then back to the A string, 1, 3, 1, 3 on the D, 3, 1, one more time. Now you do the shift. If you notice that little slide I did there, that tiny little slide helps you find the note. The slide sounds good, it's tasteful there, as long as you keep the slide small. And then you can hear when you hit that D, because you just played a D here. There's your D, and you remember that D, then you match it up here. And then you're ready to do this. And then the next lick is, go right back to that same D. You play 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1. So if we take that down to first position, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1. Again, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1. Again, set up in that low 2 pattern. If your hand has that pattern down, you can come up here. Should look the same. So you really want to get the feeling of that pattern. And then just to show you the notes in the, right there it goes, A, 1, 2, it's a low 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, A, 1, and 2, A, high 2 on D, back to the low 2, then you're going to slide up to that D again. And the cool thing about learning this way, when you're learning these finger patterns, anytime you have something in a higher position, you can really play it anywhere. Like, you know, we have this here, or we could go, or we could go. It doesn't matter. So the whole trick is just to find the right note, the right starting note, and then you just play the pattern. So it's a really useful trick, and it can really help simplify a lot of things that are up in the higher positions for you. So we'll play this one more time.